Whether you've just purchased a new Horsch air seeder or you have one sitting in the shed that you're getting ready for season, this video is going to contain information on how to set up the Horsch metering system for maximum performance. We'll also be discussing tips on both the single motor drive and the dual motor drive systems in this video. In order to get the most value out of your Horsch metering system and to get the best application rates, there's several fine adjustments that we need to take a look at the beginning of the seeding season. The first thing that we're going to explain is the airlock flap that's inside the compression chamber and how it can affect your overall meter performance. So to inspect the airlock flap, you'll want to take off the wing nuts that actually have the meter installed and remove the meter. And when you take a look, you'll see the airlock flap right here in the compression chamber. When inspecting the proper adjustment of the airlock flap, we want to ensure that we have the flap edge seen here being about 2 to 3 millimeters above the circumference of where we install the meter roller at. As you can see here, this top edge of the airlock flap is flush, if not a little bit below. We'll need to remove the compression chamber door and adjust, and we'll show you how to do that. To remove the compression chamber door, there are 4 wing nuts that are on the side of the meter. You will need to remove these wing nuts and then pull the door out for inspection. Once we have the compression chamber door removed, we can now adjust the airlock flap. You'll need a 10 millimeter socket or ratchet in order to loosen these 3 bolts. Once you loosen those 3 bolts, the flap can be moved in and out. And what we'll do here for the video to show you is we will pull this flap all the way up to the utmost position. So we'll loosen these. You don't have to completely remove them. And once they are loosened, now you can see where we have adjustment in that flap. So I'm going to push this all the way up. And then a little trick that I do is I always start in the middle, just like tightening a head gasket. Snug those down so they're torqued down evenly. And once we have that done, then we'll reinstall into the meter. One quick note that I will show you here is if you notice the steel reinforcement plate that we have for the rubber flap. In certain situations, if you're working with big seed, there may be times that you want to take this stiffening plate and actually flipping it over. You can see here how it's offset. If you remove that plate, flip it over to where the wide side is moving more down to the down position, this will give you a little bit more flexibility, say like in garbanzo beans or maybe even in soybeans. Now that we have the airlock meter flap adjusted, let's reinstall the door into the meter box. And then we will assess if our adjustments are correct. Now that we have the compression chamber door reinstalled, we can assess our adjustment. And as you can see here, you can visually inspect and also feel that little tip of that edge of that airlock flap above the radius here of where we install the meter at. You want to make sure that you're able to feel just a little bit of a point there to make sure that we have that flap tight enough, but yet not too tight against the metering roller, making sure that as that meter roller is rotating, that we're not over applying or under applying based upon how this flap is installed. Just to reiterate again, you want between 2 to 3 millimeters of the edge of the rubber flap here above the radius of where we install the metering. Once we've made that adjustment and assured that we have the proper measurement, let's reinstall the 4 wing nuts on the back, and that will be all that we'll need to do to the compression door for setup for pre-season. The next step that we want to take a look at is the other side of the meter where we have a door that we need to remove, and the purpose of this door serves 2 functions. Number 1, there's a deflector that is on the back side of the door that helps prevent any backfeeding of material that comes around the meter. The other point of the door is it acts as the pressurization for your tank on your air seeder. So whenever you're inspecting these machines, even if you're inspecting a new one, we always want to make sure that we've got air flowing up at the top of the tank through this port. There's times when maybe a mouse or a bird or something can get inside these, or a wasp nest, and can block this. And if this area is blocked, you will not maintain an accurate metering rate due to not having enough pressure in the tank. So always be sure to check these ports, always check the lines that are going into the tank. On the back side of the door, we have a deflector system that's used with every meter roller except our small seed canola rollers. And we'll show you here in just a moment what we will install whenever we use those small seed and canola rollers. With the deflection plate, we want to make sure that we have it properly adjusted. Whenever we reinstall this access door, you'll see here that there's a little bit of that edge that's sticking out beyond the radius here where we install the meter at. The problem that you'll run into is this will create a jamming effect where we can't get the meter installed. What you simply want to do is just bend that back slightly and reinstall, and make sure that that deflector is flush with the radius here of where we install the meter. That way you ensure you have the proper clearance against your meter to help deflect any seeds that might bypass as we're going around in rotation with our meter. Once we have that in place, then we're ready to reinstall the bolts. However, if you're going to be using a canola roller, there's one special thing that you have to do. If we are using the small seeds roller, or what we commonly call the canola roller, we will want to install this brush system. This brush system helps keep the cells of the canola roller clean, making sure that we have an accurate application rate. To install this brush system, we will need a 10mm wrench and socket to remove this deflector plate. Once this deflector plate is removed, use those same bolts to install the brush system in the same place. And whenever you reinstall the door, those brushes will line up with the cells that are in the canola and small seeds roller. Once we've made these adjustments, then we can use the wing nuts and reinstall the door. One other thing to check below the door is the port that you see here. This port goes to a small tube that runs up to our tank pressure sensor. Inside the cab in your iManager or eManager, you will have a sensor that will alarm if you lose pressure in the tank. If you have any type of an issue with that, check this line here first. At times, maybe a little bit of dust or foreign material can get built up in here, blocking that tube that goes to that sensor. Just another point to check whenever we're doing our pre-season overviews of any HORSCH drill. The next topic we're going to discuss is installation of the HORSCH meter into the meter box. As I was talking about earlier, there's a deflector plate that's back here in the back that prevents any bypassing of seed. If we go to install our meter and that's not properly adjusted, you can see here where the meter roller wants to jam. We just simply pull that plate back a little bit, and now the meter goes in and out freely. So when we're installing the meter, we want to make sure that we have the meter shaft installed, we have our circlips on the end and spacers, and then we remove the bearing housing that's here on the side of the meter. There's 2 wing nuts that will remove that. We slide that over the shaft of the meter drive. We install this R-clip to lock it into place, and now we're ready to install the meter inside the housing. So as we line this up and slide it in, there's a hex shaft that goes into a hex coupler that's on the motor. So as you're pushing the meter roller in, you may feel a little resistance. Gently roll that, and it'll pop into place. Now, one of the most crucial things with installing the meter inside the meter housing is ensuring that your meter is centered. And we're going to take a close look here on an uncentered meter and how to correct it and how to prevent any issues from not having the meter roller centered. So let's take a quicker look. So as we look at the alignment of the meter and the centering of the meter, you notice here on the side this gap. This is what we want to ensure that we don't have. Whenever we have a meter that's not centered and we have this gap on either side of the meter, this is going to allow dust and fine particles and maybe even small seeds to build up behind. Over time, this will create a lot of torque and a lot of drag, which will overpower your motors. And what will happen is they'll kick out, you'll have to get out, clean out the area, creates a lot of time lost during season when this happens. So let's show you how to correct this and how to properly align and center the meter. So the tools that you'll need for centering the meter roller will simply be a pair of pliers and also a flat screwdriver. So once we've removed the meter roller from the meter housing, let's pull this R-clip and remove the bearing housing. You can see here on the ends of the meter shaft, there's what we call circlips, and they'll be on both sides. And behind those circlips, there's a series of spacers. And what these spacers do is, when installed, we're moving this meter back and forth on the shaft. It's always important to remember, whatever the total number of shims that you have, you always want to maintain that if you're moving the meter from left to right. So for example, if I've got 4 on this side and I've got 4 on this side, that we want to make sure that we still got a total of 8. And if I remove one from this side, I'm going to add it to this side to make sure the meter is tight and to make sure that we have everything in alignment. On the circlips, you can see these little notches where we'll be taking the flat screwdriver and removing the clip. So simply put these in and take the clip and remove. And then remove your shims. Now we can remove the meter from the shaft. So as we saw in the meter, our roller was too far to the end part of the shaft here, or the way that I'm looking at it, too far to the right. We want to move that meter more to the left in order to fill in that gap and to get it centered. So with the shims that were originally on this side, let's add a couple of those to move that meter over to see if we get it centered. So the one thing to make sure of is the total amount of shims that you started with is the total amount of shims that you still have after you make this adjustment. So once we have those shims reinstalled, we put the shaft back into the meter. Let's reinstall the circlip and get that started. That's what we'll need our pliers for. Line this up, make sure that snaps into place, make sure that snap ring is set. Take your bearing housing, reinstall to the shaft, reinstall your R-clip. Now, let's go back to the meter and see how our adjustment's going to turn out. Now that we have made our adjustment and repositioning the shims, let's install the meter and see how things look. We'll get everything lined up here. Now, as you can see, we're flush here on both sides of the outer edge of the meter. This meter is perfectly centered and ready to rock and roll. One trick that I've told customers is when you get a new air seeder or a new meter, take the time before you start to get shafts and all of the meters and go ahead and center those. Once those have been centered, you're good for the life of the meter. So just a little tidbit that can be done pre-season or right before starting a new machine that'll ensure proper operation of the metering system. So to reinstall the meter, like we showed you earlier, line up the meter through this opening, slide the meter in, make sure that our hex shaft has seated in the motor, and then reinstall the wing nuts. One note on the wing nuts when reinstalling is you do not need to use pliers to torque these down. Simply hand torque them and you're good to go. Another topic on meter install is some of the specialty meters we have, like the one I'm showing you here, that's used for small seeds and canola. When you notice the rotation of this meter, we're only rotating these small cells that are in the middle, and there's also stationary points in the meter. You'll notice these bolts that are here up at the top that whenever installed, keep these from turning while allowing the actual meter to turn. There's a slide notch that you see right here on the meter housing. Whenever you're installing these meters, you want to make sure that these bolt heads are lined up going in. They'll hit the top of the meter box inside and stay lined up. They'll be very easy to remove. But again, whenever you're installing, you want to make sure that these are lined up. Now that we've got our meter roller installed back into the meter box and we're getting ready to install the compression chamber door, I wanted to mention that there's actually an option for two different styles of compression chamber doors. There's a standard one, which is black, that comes with every Horsch meter from the factory. But if you're going to be seeding large crops such as garbanzo beans, maybe some large peas, some very large type bean seed, you'll want to get what we call our bean kit door. Our bean kit door is specifically used whenever we're seeding large seeds, such as garbanzo beans, large peas, or maybe even edible beans. The purpose of this door, with the spacer that you see here, is to place this door further away from the meter, allowing bigger seeds to get into the compression chamber and to fill into the meter very accurately. You'll only use this if you're using big size bean seeds. For everything else, your fertilizers, your cereal grains, your canola, use the standard door that comes equipped with the Horsch metering system. One of the new changes here in recent years on the Horsch metering system has been the introduction of a new slide gate mechanism. This slide gate mechanism is used, for example, if I've got a full tank of material and I'm needing to do either service work or change a meter roller, to be able to insert that in, cutting off that product flow, allowing me to work on the bottom end of the meter without having to empty the tank. To install the slide gate, you'll need to remove this bracket that you see here that covers up the slide gate entrance. We remove these two wing nuts, we remove the cover, and then we simply line up the slide gate and insert it into the top of the metering system. Once we've completed our service work, we remove this plate. We always want to make sure that the seal here is clean on the cover, and then we will use those same two wing nuts to reinstall the cover. And again, I can't say it enough, finger tighten, no need to use a pair of pliers. So one thing that I wanted to mention is that the slide gate kit that you see here has only been out on Horsch air seeders for a few years. If you have an older Horsch air seeder and would like to upgrade this, there are update kits available. Contact your local Horsch dealer for information on this quick and easy upgrade. So one other thing to check on the metering system once you have everything back together and once we have the fan running is to check the tension on the access doors on the bottom of the seed channel. If you see that you've got these doors flapping or a little bit of material is leaking out, these can be easily adjusted and tightened up. To adjust this flap, simply release the lock, lower the flap, and if I need to tighten it, I just turn this hook inward. And once you have your adjustment made, make sure that the hook is actually facing the seed channel. Reinstall, make sure you got a good snap, fire up the fans again, check for any leaks, and then you're good to go. These little tips that we just showed you on the Horsch metering system will help you achieve the maximum accuracy and the maximum efficiency during your air seeding operations with your Horsch seeder. For more information on the Horsch metering system, please visit us at www.horsch.com or visit your local Horsch dealer today.